And at number 10, Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez has been very open about her struggles with autoimmune disease, lupus. Lupus is an inflammatory disease that causes the immune system to attack its own healthy tissue. Her lupus got so bad in 2017 that she had to undergo a kidney transplant. She was given a kidney from her fellow actress and BFF, Francia Raisa. When speaking about the transplant, Gomez said, quote, "Maybe I wasn't necessarily really good at knowing what that meant, so it actually got to a point where it was life or death. Thankfully, one of my best friends gave me her kidney, and it was the ultimate gift of life, and I'm doing quite well now." And at number 9, Nick Jonas. Former Disney star Nick Jonas was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was only 13 years old, and he's one of the 1.25 million Americans that suffer from the illness. When he was younger, it was hard for him to manage his work and the struggles of the illness. However, after some time and help from his family, he found a schedule that worked for him. Jonas also spreads awareness about type 1 diabetes whenever he can. While accepting an award in 2017, he told the crowd, quote, "This is truly incredible. These kids who are up here all have type 1 diabetes like myself. This is a disease I was diagnosed with when I was 13. It was a moment in my life when I was just getting ready to start making music with my brothers and touring, and it was something that I thought would slow me down before I even got started." But thankfully for Nick, that wasn't the case. And at number 8, Emilia Clarke. Game of Thrones star Emilia Clarke recently revealed that she suffered from multiple brain aneurysms while she was filming Game of Thrones, and she had to have multiple life-saving surgeries. Clarke revealed the details in a piece she wrote for The New Yorker. Apparently, after she was done filming season 1 of the show, she suffered a brain hemorrhage while at a London gym. She said she felt like an elastic band was squeezing her brain. She was rushed to the hospital where she underwent brain surgery, and she said she couldn't even remember her own name. However, weeks later she did return to filming, even though she had another growth on her brain that doctors were concerned about. She had multiple other bursts that forced her into more surgery, and now she suffers with permanent speech issues because of it. And at number 7, Claire Foy. Actress Claire Foy has been open about the invisible illness she suffers from, anxiety. When speaking about her experience, she said, quote, "It's purely about that feeling in the pit of your stomach and the feeling that you can't because you're this or you're that. It's my mind working 1,000 beats a second and running away with a thought." Foy revealed it all started when her parents got a divorce at the age of 8. She tried to people please so nobody would fight, but that led her to overthink and turn into anxiety. She got help from a therapist and says, quote, "Now I'm able to dissociate myself from it more. I know that it's just something I have, and that I can take care of myself." And at number 6, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid suffers from the same illness her mother Yolanda Hadid has, Lyme disease. After Bella was diagnosed, she claimed she felt hopeless, but she's learned to adapt her routines to her new limitations. Bella told The Guardian in 2016, quote, "It starts with brain fog. For a while I couldn't put sentences together. I'm really tired a lot. A few weeks ago I had a big campaign shoot that I had to reschedule. It's hard, but I pushed through because at the end of the day, if you're not working, somebody else is." When she was diagnosed in 2012, she thought she was going to be riding horses for the rest of her life, but the disease stopped those plans in its tracks. However, Bella says everything happens for a reason and she's happy with how things turned out. Halfway at number 5, Selma Blair. Selma Blair revealed that she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, or MS, on Instagram in October of 2018. MS is a condition that can affect the brain and spinal cord, causing problems with vision, arm or leg movement, sensation, or balance. When discussing her diagnosis, Blair said she knew that something was wrong and she'd felt off for years. However, she just thought it was something minor like a pinched nerve. As the disease has progressed, Blair now walks with a cane and continues to be open about her condition on social media. And at number 4, Sarah Hyland. Sarah Hyland was diagnosed with kidney dysplasia as a baby and has gone through many surgeries throughout her life to try and fix the abnormalities in her kidneys. At the age of 28, Hyland estimated that she had about 16 surgeries in her life at that point, adding that 16 of them took place within the last 16 months. In her life, she's had 2 kidney transplants. One kidney was given to her by her father in 2012, however that transplant failed and her body rejected the new organ. She spoke about the experience with self, saying, quote, "I was very depressed. When a family member gives you a second chance at life and it fails, it almost feels like it's your fault. It's not, but it does." She has also needed the help of dialysis at times, and in 2017 she chose the dialysis location close to the Modern Family set so she could more easily balance her work and her illness. And at number 3, Kim Kardashian West. Kim first revealed her struggle with skin condition psoriasis on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. During the episode, Kris revealed that she also suffers from psoriasis, and that's most likely how Kim got it. Psoriasis is a skin disease that causes red, itchy, scaly patches, most commonly on the knees, elbows, trunk, and scalp. Psoriasis is a common long-term chronic disease, currently with no cure. Kim has been open about her struggle with the disease and the flare-ups that will occur. However, she has been vigorously treating it. She told People in 2017, quote, "I've been using this light, and I don't want to speak too soon because the psoriasis is almost gone, but I've been using this light therapy and my psoriasis is like 60% gone. Hopefully it's manageable for her now." And at number 2, Gabrielle Union. Endometriosis occurs when the tissue that normally lines the uterus grows into the muscular wall of the uterus, and it can be hard to catch because the tissue still acts normally and sheds each cycle. This has caused Union to have extreme fertility issues, which she shared openly. Union discussed this on Dr. Oz, saying, quote, "Fertility is not an older women's issue. It's an issue, period." She's also admitted that she has had countless miscarriages. She said she's lost count, but claims it's about 8 or 9 miscarriages at this point. She discusses more about her fertility issue in her new book, We're Going to Need More Wine, and she discusses how she's trying IVF treatment to get pregnant. However, this didn't work and the couple went the surrogacy route and now have a beautiful daughter. And finally, number 1, Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox revealed that he was suffering with Parkinson's disease in 1998, years after discovering it at the age of 29 when he was diagnosed with young-onset Parkinson's. After he went public about his diagnosis, he started raising awareness for the disease. Parkinson's disease is a brain disorder that leads to shaking, stiffness, and difficulty with walking, balance, and coordination. Parkinson's symptoms usually begin gradually and get worse over time. He even decided to start a foundation to find a cure. His Michael J. Fox Foundation has funded more than $800 million in medical research to date. His condition is gradually getting worse, but he's hopeful for the future.
In at number 10, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, whose real name is Stephanie, was getting rave reviews for her leading role in the film A Star is Born. Although even as healthy as she looked during the film's promotion, earlier that year she had to cut her European tour short because of fibromyalgia pain. Gaga was diagnosed with fibromyalgia many years ago but never really spoke up about it. The first time that fans really got to learn about this was during her documentary called Gaga 5'2". Following the release of this documentary, Lady Gaga tweeted more about her illness to not just spread awareness but to tell her fans how she copes with it. Back in 2017, she said, "In our documentary, the chronic illness and chronic pain I deal with is fibromyalgia. I wish to help raise awareness and connect people who have it. Thought ice helped fibromyalgia, I was wrong in making it worse. Warm and heat is better, electric heated blanket, infrared sauna, Epsom baths." Well, at least she gave you some tips. In at number 9, Sia. Sia is notoriously known for keeping her life very private, but with rumors about what was going on after she postponed her tour, she tweeted, "I'm not crazy, I have Graves' disease. The shakes, the nerves, the crazy, goodbye thyroid, I will kill you with radioactivity." Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease that causes the overproduction of thyroid hormone and affects about 1 in 200 people. The disease can cause fatigue, difficulty sleeping, irritability, weight loss, and bulging eyes according to the Mayo Clinic. About 9 years later, she tweeted to further clarify this secret illness that she had been battling. Sia tweeted, "Hey, I'm suffering with chronic pain and neurological disease, Ehlers-Danlos, and I just wanted to say to those of you suffering from pain, whether physical or emotional, I love you, keep going, life is f***ing hard. Pain is demoralizing and you're not alone." She would later clarify that post by saying, "Just to clarify, I have a neurological disease and Ehlers-Danlos. EDS isn't a neurological disease, sorry for the confusion." In at number 8, Nick Jonas. Nick Jonas is now very open about his type 1 diabetes diagnosis and even has co-founded an organization called Beyond Type 1 in 2015 to educate people about the disease. In 2018, he marked the 13-year anniversary of his diagnosis and shared this poignant message with his fans. In the post he said, "13 years ago today I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. The picture on the left is me a few weeks after my diagnosis, barely 100 pounds after having lost so much weight from my blood sugar being so high before going to the doctor where I would find out that I was diabetic. On the right is me now, happy and healthy, prioritizing my physical health, working out and eating healthy and keeping my blood sugar in check. I have full control over my day-to-day life with this disease, and I'm so grateful to my family and loved ones who have helped me every step of the way. Never let anything hold you back from living your best life." In at number 7, Lil Wayne. When Lil Wayne suffered from a seizure that left him unconscious in his Chicago hotel room, rumors began swirling about it being drug related. The rapper was well known for drinking lean, which is essentially a codeine cocktail. Lil Wayne would soon reveal that due to his condition he was prone to having seizures, adding that this was not even the first time that he had experienced one. He also pointed out to his fans that just because he never told people that he was diagnosed with epilepsy doesn't mean that he had not been dealing with it, even pointing out a time where he was hospitalized during a specific episode because he had experienced 3 seizures in a row, which lowered his heart rate by about 30%, claiming that his seizures were the result of dehydration and working too much.
My mom said, no, when you were younger in New Orleans, that City Park, when I was actually real young, she was like, you're faint. For our lack of knowledge at that time, we didn't know it was a seizure.
So in addition to finding out that he had been epileptic this whole time, Wayne's doctor also told him that the mixing of one prescription pain medication with codeine combined with his regular use of lean resulted in this seizure. In number 6, Julianne Hough. Julianne Hough recently has become one of these several famous women, including Lena Dunham and Padma Lakshmi, who have been publicly discussing the challenges of life with endometriosis. This is one of those illnesses that is especially difficult to open up about, even with the people closest to them. Julianne opened up to E! News about her 10-year battle with the oftentimes painful disorder in which tissue that normally lines the uterus grows outside of the uterus instead. During her chat, she revealed that she often suffered in silence and dealt with the pain on her own. She went on to say, obviously with my story, I came out with it in 2008 when I found out that I had endometriosis. But then at the time I was like, I don't know if I really want to talk about this. It's very personal and there can be some misconceptions about certain things, and I was like, I don't have the answers yet. The actress also said that she kept the information from her husband because she'd grown up her whole life as a competitor, believing that she could do anything on her own. In number 5, Sarah Hyland. Hyland was born with kidney dysplasia, a common condition in babies. Hyland's kidneys didn't develop properly in her mother's womb and never functioned well. Medical treatment staved off kidney failure though throughout her childhood, but by the time that she was 21, she needed a transplant. Her beloved father, actor Edward James Hyland, volunteered to give his kidney, but sadly 5 years later in 2017 her body rejected the organ and she was placed on dialysis to stay alive. Next, her younger brother, actor Ian Hyland, stepped up to donate his kidney, and by the end of 2017 Ian's kidney was successfully transplanted to his sister. She opened up about her ups and downs throughout this journey with kidney dysplasia on her Instagram feed and Self magazine. The photo was captioned with, I say words here that hopefully others can relate to and feel like they're not alone. Hopefully those that are lucky enough not to experience this will learn about something new and take a moment to appreciate their health. Thank you so much to all the love and light I've received today. I love you all. In number 4, Charlie Sheen. Back in 2015, Charlie Sheen was all over the news after his disastrous departure from the show 2.5 Men. His behavior following that seemed to be a little more erratic than usual, and as such, many rumors began circulating in regards to his health and well-being. While on the Today Show with Matt Lauer, Charlie finally broke the news to the world that he was HIV positive.
You know there are a lot of rumors out there right now, and you would like to address them head on, so I'll give it to you.
I'm here to admit that I am in fact HIV positive.
This had been a secret that he kept for a very long time, also admitting that he had paid millions of dollars to former partners of his just to keep it all a secret. This, however, resulted in what Sheen referred to as shakedowns for more money. So with his account being drained and the loss of his show, Charlie took control of the narrative and released information about his secret illness that he had been battling. Now you may be wondering why Charlie told these partners in the first place. Well, by law, anyone with HIV must disclose their health status to partners or risk jail time. This is regardless of viral load, treatment, or even transmission of the virus. In number 3, Michael J. Fox. The Michael J. Fox Foundation has raised more than $900 million to fund research to find a cure for Parkinson's. It's a disease that has affected the likes of Muhammad Ali, Neil Diamond, Jesse Jackson, Ozzy Osbourne, and Michael himself, who was diagnosed in 1991. He wouldn't reveal the details of his illness though for another 7 years. However, since going public with it, he has continued to persevere and speak about the disease's impact on his life. When speaking with CNN, he told them, I refer to Parkinson's and the effect it's had on my life as a gift, and people are completely dubious of that and kind of wonder how I could say that. I qualify it by saying it's a gift that keeps on taking, but it is a gift, because it's really opened me up to be more of a kind, compassionate, curious, risk-taking person. But between the time that he was diagnosed and his announcement, he spent 7 years both suffering and learning about the disease, while also doing his very best to keep his condition out of the spotlight. In number 2, Selena Gomez. In 2015, Selena Gomez revealed that she had been diagnosed with lupus. This is an autoimmune disease that required the singer to go through chemotherapy. The star then opened up about the disease again by sharing that she had a kidney transplant over the summer. In a heartfelt Instagram post, she writes, I'm very aware some of my fans had noticed I was laying low for part of the summer and questioning why I wasn't promoting my new music, which I was extremely proud of. So I found out I needed to get a kidney transplant due to my lupus and was recovering. It was what I needed to do for my overall health. I honestly look forward to sharing with you soon my journey through these past several months, as I have always wanted to do with you. Until then, I want to publicly thank my family and incredible team of doctors for everything they have done for me prior to and post surgery. And finally, there aren't words words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend Francia. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me. I am incredibly blessed. I love you so much, sis. Lupus continues to be very misunderstood, but progress is being made. And last but certainly not least, our number one spot, Chadwick Boseman. To many, the death of Chadwick Boseman was a huge shocker. We had just watched him as the powerful King T'Challa in Black Panther and many other films that the actor had been a part of. He seemed to be on the rise to have a very long and illustrious career in Hollywood. Unfortunately, Chadwick had been diagnosed with colon cancer and had been undergoing surgeries and chemotherapy for the past 4 years. The final tweet from the late actor has become one of the most liked tweets ever, and in the tweet the statement reads, "It is with immeasurable grief that we confirm the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016 and battled with it these last 4 years as it progressed to stage 4. A true fighter, Chadwick persevered through it all and brought you many of the films you have come to love so much. From Marshall to Defy Bloods, August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and several more, all were filmed during and between countless surgeries and chemotherapy." His family went on to say that it was the honor of his career to bring King T'Challa to life and that he passed in his home surrounded by his loved ones.
Starting us off at number 10 is Daniel Rugani. The Italian soccer star tested positive for the virus at just 25 years old. TMZ Sports announced his diagnosis, saying that he is currently asymptomatic, but anyone who he's had contact with in recent weeks have also been quarantined for safety precautions. Among many others, this list includes his teammate Cristiano Ronaldo, who has not personally tested positive but is also isolated so that he doesn't catch the virus. It was a big deal for Italy since he played for their national team, and he's actually the first player in their top league to catch it. The team still continued with practice after his confirmed testing, but that was until Italy went on a nationwide lockdown and all sports have been suspended until April 3rd. Up next, number 9 is Sophie Trudeau. This was big news over here for us Canadians because she is the wife of our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. So for obvious reasons, our country was concerned for his health as well, seeing as it's wildly contagious and they are in close corners and probably sharing a kiss or two. After she tested positive for coronavirus, the Prime Minister made it a point to reassure the country that she is going to be okay and that he is feeling fine. He issued a statement saying she is feeling well, is taking all the recommended precautions, and her symptoms remain mild. As for himself, he says he doesn't have any of the symptoms and is feeling totally fine. They both have been quarantined inside their home for safety precautions, but his office confirmed he will continue to fulfill all of his duties as Prime Minister and has been holding his meetings over the phone. Swiping our number 8 spot is Rudy Gobert. This is a fine example of karma coming back for you. The NBA player was doing a press conference after a game and started poking fun at the virus, touching all the microphones on purpose and making jokes about it. But just 2 days later, he tested positive for it. Following the announcement of his diagnosis, the NBA announced that they would be suspending the current season. As a result, all 5 teams who have played against Rudy, including the Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons, and Toronto Raptors, were all instructed to self-quarantine. Now, I don't wish bad karma on anyone, especially in this case, but that is kinda what you get for touching all those microphones. In spot number 7 is Donovan Mitchell. He was Rudy's teammate who got the virus not long after he did, becoming the second NBA player to have it. They suspect that he got it because Rudy was being careless in the locker room in terms of touching other players and their belongings, even though that they were given warnings about the severity of the situation. Mitchell spoke out for the first time recently on Instagram since he tested positive to thank all of those who have reached out to him since the news broke. He updated his fans through a video saying that he feels fine and is in isolation. Overall, he seems fine and he's playing video games all day, which for a lot of people doesn't sound all that bad. Rolling into the number 6 spot is Paulo Dybala. The soccer star kept insisting that he was feeling fine after reports said he tested positive for coronavirus. But after the news broke, he immediately started denying the claims, and the Italian club also denied the rumors. He wasn't the first soccer player to test positive for it, so the Serie A was suspended for a while after Italy was put down in a full lockdown. His teammate Daniel Rugani was the first player to test positive, and he shared a dressing room with him, so it just kind of makes sense that this might happen. He was put in isolation and posted on social media saying, "Hello everyone, I wanted to confirm that I am well and in voluntary isolation. Thank you for all the messages, and I hope you are well. #NoFakeNews." He is claiming that he did not test positive for the virus, but isolated himself for safety precautions after his teammate tested positive.
However, the reports are saying that he tested positive. So, not really sure. We're halfway through at number 5, and we have Mikel Arteta. The football coach tested positive for the coronavirus, and the club's next scheduled game was postponed immediately, for obvious reasons. The Gunners closed their training ground, and any club staff who had recent contact with him was told to self-isolate themselves. He spoke about his diagnosis publicly and said, "This is really disappointing. I took the test after feeling poorly. I will be at work as soon as I am allowed." The club is still trying to discuss future strategies moving forward. We're here now at number 4, and we have Janet Broderick. She is the older sister of actor Matthew Broderick and is also known for being a popular public figure to the All Saints Church in Beverly Hills. She's 64 years old and became ill after attending a conference in Louisville, Kentucky. The church said that she initially received treatment for viral symptoms, but was later admitted into the ICU where she tested positive for COVID-19. Her symptoms quickly got worse, and she is being treated for a severe form of pneumonia. The church did make a public statement on her behalf, saying, "She is receiving the best medical care available, and her doctor's prognosis is for a complete and full recovery." She later released her own statement and said that she is thankful for the prayers and the support. In our third spot is Callum Hudson-Odoi. The soccer star was diagnosed with the virus and recently announced that he has recovered from it. His team has been in isolation since finding out the results, but his recovery was quick. Yay! That gives me a lot of hope for this world. He posted a video on Twitter and started by saying, "Hi guys, as you may be aware, I've had the virus for the last couple of days, which I've recovered from." He explained that he is following the health guidelines and self-isolating himself for another week to make sure that he doesn't spread any kind of germs or bacteria. The team released a statement saying that those who have come into close contact with him are also self-isolating themselves and will return to work, hopefully, within another week. Taking over the number 2 spot is Nadine Dorres. The health minister has become the first MP to be diagnosed with the virus, and reports say she may have gotten it from the reception they held promoting concerns about the spread of it. She's been the Conservative MP for Mid-Bedfordshire since 2004 and also a best-selling author of fiction novels. The Department of Health and Social Care confirmed that she tested positive for the infection and announced that the identity of the person who infected her is unknown. They have been focusing on tracking down who it could be and testing the potential people she came in contact with in the past week. But that is hundreds of people, obviously given her profession. They are mainly concerned with testing people in the parliament and, of course, the rest of the health department. All right, guys, we have made it to number 1, and we have Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson. The 63-year-old actor revealed through Instagram that he and his wife both tested positive for coronavirus. Tom was in Australia doing pre-production work for the new Elvis Presley project, which is coming out in 2021. Fingers crossed that is still happening. Production for the movie has been put on hold since the actor and his wife, who was there with him, have been hospitalized and placed under quarantine. He explained in his post that they are not feeling well and are experiencing just standard flu-like symptoms, such as fever, chills, and body aches. He posted a picture of a surgical glove in a disposal garbage bag and explained the situation and wished well on everyone else. Tom has promised to keep their fans informed, and both of their sons, Chet and Colin Hanks, also announced on their social media that they would share updates on their parents' health. So if you want to stay in the loop, go and follow those peeps.
Coming in at 10, Chris Evans' social anxiety. Chris Evans, more commonly known as Captain America, is an incredibly successful actor who, aside from appearing in the MCU, has also starred in works such as Fantastic Four, Push, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Snowpiercer, and the Red Sea Diving Resort. However, Chris Evans is just one of many who also suffers from a mental illness, specifically social anxiety. In an interview with Rolling Stone back in 2016, Evans revealed his anxiety often kicks in during premieres and red carpet events, which he describes as, I quote, 30 minutes of walking on hot coals. The actor has tried everything to overcome and manage his anxiety, from meditating to reading Buddhist books to calm his mind. He's also stated that he's gotten better but still has moments of self-doubt when over-analyzing things. Same. Coming in at 9, Cara Delevingne, depression. English model and actress Cara Delevingne is known for works such as Paper Town, Suicide Squad, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, and the new Amazon Prime show Carnival Row. In October 2015, while at the Women in World Summit, Delevingne spoke about her battle with depression, which started when she was just 15 years old when she discovered her mother's drug addiction. The following year, she left school for 6 months and agreed to go on medication, which she credits for saving her life. Cara stated, I quote, "Everyone goes through similar things. If you learn to love yourself and not give in to what other people think about you or not care what they think and just follow your dreams, you can achieve anything, and that's what I want to be for teenagers. Not necessarily a role model, but someone who has gone through it and come out the other side. Coming in at number 8, Lili Reinhart, depression and anxiety. Lili Reinhart is a popular actress known for playing Betty Cooper on CW's teen drama series Riverdale, which is currently heading into its 4th season. The Riverdale star has been very transparent about her struggles with depression and anxiety, stating, "Riverdale came into my life when I was going through the worst depression I had ever experienced, and in the end it completely saved me." Lili has always pushed for ending the stigma around mental illness and has called mental health a priority while continuing to post positive messages to her followers. I quote, "To anyone out there who feels depressed or hopeless, do not give up on yourself. You're all you've got and you deserve the world. You will get through whatever you're going through now, and you'll be so much stronger at the end of it. You're stronger than you know." So true. Coming in at 7, Kendrick Lamar, depression and suicidal thoughts. Kendrick Lamar is a rapper who is regarded as one of the most skillful and successful hip-hop artists of his generation, with the singer having a slew of many popular albums and collaborating with some of the biggest names in the game, including The Game, Busta Rhymes and Snoop Dogg. But like our other numbers, Kendrick Lamar also suffers from a mental illness, depression, and revealed his struggles in his album To Pimp a Butterfly. He raps specifically about the survivor's guilt he feels for leaving his hometown of Compton, California, where a large amount of his friends and family still remain today. I quote, "3 of my homeboys one summer were murdered. You living this life, you know what I'm saying, but you still have to face the realities of this. I gotta get back off that tour bus and go to these funerals." The rapper has struggled with not just depression but also suicidal thoughts, which he also raps about on the same album. Coming in at 6, Shawn Mendes, anxiety. Shawn Mendes is a Canadian singer that shot to fame when he released his self-titled debut EP, with his single Stitches reaching number 1 in the UK and in the top 10 in the US and Canada. The star has been open about his struggles with anxiety, which he disclosed publicly through his song In My Blood, a track from his 3rd studio album. He stated that he had been undergoing therapy in order to help him deal with his mental health condition. I quote, "I spoke to a therapist a couple of times. Therapy is what works for you. Therapy is listening to music and running on a treadmill. Therapy is going to dinner with your friends. It's something that distracts you, that helps you heal, and so it just depends on what you think therapy is. I made a conscious effort to be more connected to the people in my life. Found I was closing myself off from everybody, thinking that would help me battle it, then realizing the only way I was going to battle it was completely opening up and letting people in." The singer also told Beats One Zane Lowe that, I quote, "It was kind of something that hit me within the last year. Before that, growing up, I was a pretty calm kid, super steady. I knew people who had suffered from anxiety and found it kind of hard to understand, but then when it hits you, you're like, oh my god, what is this? This is crazy." Coming in at 5, Pete Davidson, borderline personality disorder. Comedian and actor Pete Davidson became popular in the media for not just appearing on SNL, but for also dating and becoming engaged to Ariana Grande before the pair ultimately split last year. A split that led to suicidal thoughts for the comedian. However, prior to that, Pete was already open about his diagnosis with BPD, borderline personality disorder, after the star began experiencing mental breakdowns that would leave him in a blind rage. I quote, "I found out I have BPD. One of my psychiatrists diagnosed me. He was always saying before this big meltdown, you're probably bipolar or borderline, we're just gonna have to figure it out." Although he has been diagnosed, the star is still trying to cope with his illness and has previously stated that he feels depressed all the time, but goes to regular therapy sessions in order to manage it. I quote, "It is working, slowly but surely. I've been having a lot of problems. This whole year has been a nightmare. This has been the worst year of my life, getting diagnosed with this and trying to figure out how to learn to live with this." Now, this was the year that he split from Ariana, during which time Davidson shared a candid Instagram post in which he expressed thoughts of suicide before deleting his social media accounts entirely. This resulted in the New York Police Department conducting a wellness check on Davidson, who was found safe at the SNL studios. Coming in at 4, Camila Cabello, OCD. Former member of Fifth Harmony and now a solo singer, Camila Cabello is famous for songs such as Havana, Crying in the Club, and Never Be the Same, with her most recent single, Senorita, which she recorded with Shawn Mendes, reaching number 1 in most European countries, as well as becoming her 2nd single as lead artist to top the US Billboard Hot 100. The singer has become an unstoppable force in the music industry, however, she also suffers from a mental illness, OCD. The singer opened up about her battle with obsessive compulsive disorder with Cosmopolitan UK for their June cover, cover stating, "OCD is weird. I laugh about it now. Everybody has different ways of handling stress, and for me, if I get really stressed about something, I'll start to have the same thought over and over again, and no matter how many times I get to the resolution, I feel like something bad is about to happen if I don't keep thinking about it." The singer went on to state that the support of her family is what helped her feel more in control of her illness. She explained, I quote, "To the point where I'm just like, aha, okay, this is just my OCD. I'll ask my mum a question for the 4th time and she'll be like, that's OCD. You've got to let it go." Coming in at 3, Ariana Grande, PTSD. Ariana Grande is an incredibly talented singer and actress, most notable for her songs 7 Rings, Boyfriend, Bang Bang, Thank You Next, and of course, Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored. The singer never stops, constantly working and putting out new music seemingly every other day. However, behind closed doors, Ariana suffers from PTSD and anxiety, which are both results of the Manchester Arena bombing. For those who don't know, on May 22nd, 2017, the Manchester Arena was attacked by a suicide bomber who detonated a homemade bomb as people were leaving the arena following a concert by Ariana Grande herself. 23 people died that night and 139 people were wounded. More than half of those people were children. Following the incident, Ariana gave an interview with Vogue UK, opening up about her battle with PTSD and anxiety following the horrible attack. She said, I quote, "I think a lot of people have anxiety, especially right now. My anxiety has anxiety. I've always had anxiety. I've never really spoken about it because I thought everyone had it, but when I got home from tour, it was the most severe I think it's ever been." The singer's anxiety became so severe, she considered pulling out of a number of performances because she didn't feel comfortable performing on a stage again. Coming in at 2, Prince Harry, anxiety. Even the royals are human, never forget that. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, is just another person to suffer from a mental illness. In April 2017, the Prince told The Telegraph that he shut down all of his emotions for almost 2 decades following the death of his mother, Princess Diana, who died after a car crash in a Paris tunnel. The Prince went on to state that it wasn't until he was 28 years old, during a period of time when he felt, I quote, "very close to a complete breakdown," that he began to see a professional to address his grief and anxiety that he would often face during royal engagements. As of 2019, the Prince has stated that he is in a good place and encourages others to open up about their own struggles. In 2016, Harry started the Heads Together campaign with Prince William and Kate Middleton to help end the stigma around mental health issues. I quote, "The experience that I have is that once you start talking about it, you suddenly realize that actually you're part of quite a big club." Finally, coming in at number 1, Demi Lovato, bipolar disorder, bulimia, and addiction. Incredibly talented and successful singer Demi Lovato has been nothing but transparent in the past when it comes to her mental health, and this began when her personal life began to spill over into the media during some very public breakdowns. The singer has been suffering from depression, an eating disorder, self-harm, and being bullied before she was forced to enter rehab at the age of 18. This happened during November of 2010 when Lovato withdrew from the Jonas Brothers Live in Concert tour after she punched one of her female dancers in the face, resulting in her management and family convincing her she needed professional help. On January 28, 2011, Lovato completed her treatment and returned home, acknowledging she had bulimia and had not only harmed herself but had been self-medicating with drugs and alcohol to numb her pain. She also admitted to using cocaine several times a day and smuggled cocaine onto airplanes. In 2013, it was revealed that Demi was living in a sober living facility in LA in order to avoid returning to her addictions. And on March 15, 2018, the singer celebrated 6 years of sobriety. However, on June 21, 2018, Demi released a song titled Sober, which revealed she had relapsed. And then on July 24th, she was rushed to a medical center in LA due to an opioid overdose. It was reported that Demi had overdosed on oxycodone laced with fentanyl. However, following her release from hospital, Demi took to Twitter to dismiss the rumors about her overdose. The singer told Variety, I quote, "It's very important we create conversations, we take away the stigma, and that we stand up for ourselves if we're dealing with the symptoms of a mental illness. It is possible to live well and thrive with a mental illness."